Hey guys, my name's Christine. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are going to cover budgets. It's not a four-letter word, although I know you probably feel like it is, and you feel like the budget is going to be restricting. If I have a budget, that means I can't buy stuff, and that's not necessarily true. It's just a plan of where your money's gonna go instead of just doing whatever all willy-nilly and then wondering where all of your money went, as per the words of Dave Ramsey. So I'm gonna show you a template of the budget form that I use, and I will have a blank copy of that. I believe it is available on my website, so I'll try and leave a link to that down below. It's a free download. You can kind of tweak it and add lines here and there to work for you and your family and your household and your budget. No matter how much money you make or don't make, you should be paying attention to where your money is going. Because when you don't have very much, it's really important that you don't go into an overdraft or something like that. And then when you do make more, it's important to invest it wisely and save for large purchases instead of bump your lifestyle so much that you have to keep making more money in order to survive. It truly doesn't matter how you do a budget. It just matters that you do one at all. And this version is a lot better than the first version I used for the first several years that Dave and I were married, because my budget was a piece of paper and a pen. And if I spent more than I meant to on gas for the car, I'd like scribble it out and make a note over here. It was classy. Let's get the computer and dive into the numbers, shall we? Okay, here we are in the budget. As you can see right here, I've left several spots for income, and this budget form is for a being paid twice a month situation, because that is what Dave's job gives, and then what we had when I taught online. So I had the three incomes here. I have bills that came out of the first paychecks of the month. And if you scroll down, I have all the income for the second half of the month and all of the bills for the second half of the month. Of course, you can come in here and change, you know, daycare, you don't have daycare, so you just take it out. You put in something else, whatever works for your budget. You can move all of those. There's a couple things down here at the end. So let's assume this budget is for 2021. I like looking at the entire year at a time. And let's say I carried over $200 for December that I didn't end up doing anything with. I'm just gonna enter that into my balance carryover for January. So let's enter in some random budget. We'll just do $1,500 per paycheck, putting together a $3,000 a month pay for someone. Let's say you wanna make donations, or you wanna pay tithing to a church or whatever. You would enter that right here. Maybe you're a full 10%, so it's $150. Next up, we have utilities. These are pretty easy because they don't change too much. Like, you have a general idea of what they're gonna be. You know that your electric bill is like $80 to $100 a month, so we can budget $100 on the high side, and if it's lower, score! It's only bad if we budget on the low side, like $40, and it's actually $80. That can be quite a jab when every dollar is accounted for. You know, you fill out your water, your natural gas, if you use that. I didn't in the South, but I do here in the North. Natural gas is way cheaper for heat than electric, so it's used heavily where I live. Now we have all of your streaming devices, and you're gonna have to add up, like your Amazon, your Netflix, your Acorn TV, your Apple TV, your Hulu, your HBO, your, what else is there? Like, there's so many things. Pick your streaming services, fill them in right here, because I know most people have one of those these days. Phones, this is gonna be cell phones. I did not put home line phones on here because I haven't had one in my entire married life. So you type in your cell phone bill. I mean, you could do something like Republic Wireless or Ting, and it's as low as $25, or you can have Verizon and it's up at $200. Oops, not 2,000. And that just depends on what you wanna do. The cash I will come back to in a minute. It is important when you do a budget to set aside money to save, always. And whether that means setting up your emergency fund, or saving for retirement, or saving for Christmas, or for a new car, or fill in the blank with whatever, you do need to set some money aside for savings. And if you don't have enough money to set aside to save, then we either need to make more money, cut expenses, and or pay off the debt so you can save. The IRA retirement, this one is specifically for retirement savings, that kind of thing. Maybe you want to do $200 a month, $400 a month. When Dave and I first started, I think we could barely afford like $300 a month, and it was only to fund Dave's IRA. We didn't have enough money to fund mine also, so we did as much as we could squeeze out of the budget, but this is not even fully funding one of these. If you have a credit card that you put daily expenses on, like gas for your car, groceries, stamps at the post office, that kind of thing, you would put that here on your credit card. Maybe it's $100. And household is going to include things like cleaning products, beauty care, weed whacker line, gas for your lawnmower, a new mat for your front door, all those like light bulbs, weird household stuff, okay? So maybe that's $100. Sweet. So we are done with paycheck 1 at $350 left over, which is fabulous. Scroll down to the next paycheck. You can do donations one more time, $150. This is not, you don't have to do donations. Something I like to put in there. And then we have mortgage or rent. This will vary widely depending on where you live. Now, I live in the state of Idaho. It is a fairly low cost of living, although I have seen the prices of real estate skyrocket in the last year, as most places have. Even though the prices have jumped up so much, my house, which is fairly large, is still significantly less than it would be in a place like New York City or California. I know my house in California would probably be at least $1 million, probably more. And here in Idaho, if I listed it today for sale, I maybe could sell it for $400,000. Huge discrepancies in rent, size of apartments, size of houses, mortgages. There's a lot of variables here, so this could be all over the map. When Dave and I were first married, our mortgage, not when I were first married, when we bought our first house, our mortgage and all the escrow stuff was $1,200 a month. That was everything. And if you go down here to the bottom, like if I was making $3,000 and if my mortgage was $1,200 and I did all the other stuff, I want you to look at, I only have $150 left over for this paycheck. But if I come up, I did have the $350 from above. So what I did in the formula is I took it down here. So I know for the entire month, I have $700 left to spend for this section of the budget. So I'm doing okay, but it's close, so I need to watch it. My internet at my house is $80 a month right now. In fact, if you haven't checked your internet, check it out and see if you can get an upgraded package for the same price, because that's what I did. I've been paying $80 a month for a very long time, and it was this old plan, and I decided to go on and look at it because I felt like it was very slow. And they were like, oh, if you did this plan, which was like 4 times better than my plan, it was still $80 a month. So I upgraded like that, way better plan. Got gas for your car. Fortunately for us, like Dave rides his bike to work and I work from home, so we don't spend too much on gas, but some people have a long commute. I mean, this could be $200 a month, maybe. You should save some money for maintenance for your cars, whether that's an oil change or a tire rotation or new wiper blades, or even little things. Do cost a little bit. And then your car insurance every month. If you don't have car insurance, go get it right now. It's $150 a month with Haley driving. If you want to save for kids' college, you know, we'll add that here. If we want to do life insurance, which I recommend you do life insurance, you know, maybe you add that here. Now you can see that I only have $120 left. And I haven't done debt payments, I haven't done additional savings, I haven't saved money for my car expenses, and I haven't taken out any cash. Oh, I didn't even type in streaming. I didn't even take out any cash. Like if you want to keep a 20 in your wallet, or if you want to give like you and your partner $50 a month for blow money. I don't even have, did I have groceries in here? Where's groceries? Oh, I didn't even put groceries. What the heck is the matter with me? You know, you got to add food, restaurants, entertainment. Like I don't have any of that stuff in here yet. And when I go down and I see that I have only $70 left, that's a weird arrow, and I've barely done anything with my budget, I think it's clear to see that a take home of $3,000 is really tight these days. Is it doable? Absolutely, because Dave and I lived off of this for a long time, like 5 or 6 years. But you had to be pretty selective about what you chose to do. Fill out everything. Of course, this is just, I just made these numbers up, okay? So you come down to the bottom, the formulas are in here, so you can go take a look at those. And what happens now is your total left here carries over automatically to the balance carryover for the following month. Now, if you do a zero-based budget, which means you spend every dollar down to zero, you won't have anything here and it will carry over nothing. I find as long as my savings are intact and I don't have any debt and everything's paid for, Sometimes if I have $50 to $100 left over, who cares? And I'll let it roll over to the next month. It's not a big deal. I do differ from Dave Ramsey in a few things, and that is one of them. And then you go over to the next month and you do it all again, or maybe you take one and you drag it all the way across and you fill in the whole calendar for the entire year. I like seeing how much my phones cost for the entire year. I can look at this 200 and be like, holy moly, that's a lot of money for phones. I'm not okay with that. How can I cut this expense so I can do something else? Like go out to eat, like save for my kids' college, like save for retirement, get a new car, whatever is important to you. Another thing I like about this is if you have like a, you know, for me, I'd be like, okay, this is Dave's income right here. You know, Christine babysitting, for example. So I know if I like babysit a kid twice a week and I can bring in an extra $60 a week, babysitting in my area doesn't pay very well. So 60 times 4 is $240. I can bring in an extra $240 a month. On a budget like this, that's life-changing. Like that allows you to do so many other things. So I just like the full holistic approach for the entire year. Like I said, this spreadsheet is available for download. So hey, I know that trying to put together a budget and look at the numbers can be incredibly stressful. I have friends that it stresses them out so bad to look at the numbers all the time. Dave is one of those people that he doesn't particularly like looking at the numbers all the time, but what I can tell you is if you know exactly what's going on, you should feel less stressed because you have control over what's going on in your life instead of wondering what the heck's gonna happen and being terrified to open your credit card bill the next month. I hope you guys like this video, and if you wanna try out this budget sheet, let me know down below how you like it, if it's working for you. I know it's not the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but that's not really what I'm about. I just want it to be efficient. So if you enjoyed, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.